Welcome to the garden. Today I'm outside making a special batch of compost tea for my indoor succulents. I've just got a little pot here that I use for outdoorsy stuff like this, and I'm going to add 1 handful of our nice finished compost. This stuff is really rich in nutrients. It also has a lot of bugs, seeds, and microbes in there, so we're going to have to sterilize it by covering it with water and boiling it for probably about an hour. So that'll kill off any insects crawling around, any eggs that might hatch, any seeds that could germinate, and it'll also extract all those nutrients into the water. I've gathered up all my succulents, or most of them, and now is the time I really want to fertilize and give them a really good drink. This should be done about once every couple months, or at least once a year. This will mimic that spring saturation of the soil with all those extra nutrients flooding in that water, and they're going to be able to really use it now because we're getting more sun. We're getting longer days, so we're going to start seeing tons of new growth. And I've brewed a special batch of compost tea. We can take a look at the color here. This has been steeped in compost for about a day, 24 hours, and then I filtered it through a bandana, boiled it to sterilize it, and let it cool. So now it's ready to use on our succulents. And I've got all our succulents in this large basin so that they can all share the same water. And all we're going to do is just douse them. Every single pot, we're just going to continually douse them all the way down. We're going to let that tea run through. We're really trying to saturate that soil. We're adding those nutrients because of the compost tea. So we're just soaking and soaking. This is like the first really hard spring rain. We just want to saturate the entire pots all the way to the center, because succulents do like to dry out. We can actually let them dry out too much, and that potting soil will just not retain enough moisture, and the water will just run through. That's really how you can tell if your containers need to be soaked like this. You'll water it and it'll just run through without soaking up. We just need to saturate everything. This is really going to benefit those roots by giving them consistency. If the soil is too dry, you can get water on the very surface and probably on the edges, but it won't actually penetrate to the heart of the container. So by doing this, we're giving a real even soak, and now we can let them dry out completely before we water again. So it'll probably be 2 weeks before we need to water again. We really want to let them dry out now. And this cycle of flooding and drying out is really beneficial to succulents. That's what they thrive on. Think about them as a desert plant, to where they don't get any water and then they get a whole bunch when it rains. They're like a cactus, basically. So we should have some really happy succulents now, with plenty of nutrients from that compost tea and plenty of water to do a whole bunch of new growing now. So I hope you give this a go with your succulents. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.